Radical Islam. Wait. Radical Islamist fatigue? Is that a spelling error, or did he do it that way? But is that a spelling error, or did he do it that way on purpose? Islamist, okay? Radical Islamist fatigue. This is pepzity. This is pepzity. I enjoy pepzity's content.
This video is in no way, shape or form intended to generalize any group of people. This is just me objectively reacting to information available on the internet and sharing my opinions. Extremism in any form is against humanity.
Thank you! Thank you! Pepzity knows exactly what it is. Any kind of extremism is evil. I don't care where it comes from. Whether it's political, whether it's religious, whether it's brain rot, I'm against it. I am absolutely against it. It's okay. It's kind of like a gotcha game. You know what you're getting into with a gotcha game. Extremism is a gotcha game. You get into it, you know you're going to get problems. You have to be on the outside, go like, you know what? I can look at it, I can play this game, but I'm not going to fall into the money pit trap that is a gotcha game. I'm not going to spend money to be like all the other players. I'm not going to fall for the brain rot to be like all the other extremists. You have to separate yourself from it. I like how he's like, you know what? They're not. They're not. Thank you. Thank you.
It's 2026 and it has to stop.
Everything you're about to see in this video is illegal. Visiting parks is illegal. Playing sports is illegal. Listening to music is also illegal. Studying is illegal. Driving is illegal. Just for women. You see this lake? Going to the most beautiful lake in Afghanistan is also illegal. We're only able to come here because we woke up at 5 AM before the Taliban checkpoints were open and before the patrols started working. But when they arrived, they forced all women into a corner, shouting at us, intimidating and separating us from the lake.
When we came, there was nothing. And then a lot of Taliban men came. You guys saw them? And I had to go to the side.
Go to the side.
And they were really pushy.
Your daughter as well?
Yeah.
What age? Do we know what age it is that they separate? Do you know?
Sexism at its finest.
This is the reality of being a woman in Afghanistan.
Come on, if I was you, I would be thanking them for giving me natural sun protection. You're saving so much money on expensive sunscreens. If I was Ibrahim, this guy, I would talk like this. This is what he does. He's a propagandist who makes hateful content for views. But the saddest thing is that he's also a religious person.
That you have to swim through in order to get to the other side. I think they put up these little like lights for Ramadan on the thing, little overhanging lights. I mean, here you can just see how open and beautiful everything is. You know, everybody's in their white ihram robes.
Imagine visiting a religion's holiest place and then coming home to disrespect other religions and cultures. Unbelievable. None of my Indian Muslim friends are like him. They're good people, and they certainly don't want to claim him as.
Yep. That's the thing. It's like you always need. Oh, IBZ-LAMlST. I get it. I get it now. Thank you for explaining that. I was so confused. So confused. I think it's because it's in all caps. I'm just like, what the heck? Okay, so I think the main issue is just like I've always said, because I've read the Quran, I've had and I have Muslim friends. It's like there's a complete separation. There was a complete separation because I've always viewed it as extremism. The problem is everyone wants to be, again, it goes back to like the main character syndrome. Everyone wants to be the most important. It's the reason why everyone wants to be a part of the cool kids in school. It's the reason why everyone wants to be in the it crowd. It's the reason why everyone wants to be recognized by their favorite celebrity or whatever, or their favorite streamer, things like that, which I don't qualify as. Let's just be honest. I'm not putting myself in that situation. I'm nowhere near that. But people want to be recognized, and the thing is, when you see yourself as the top of the top, you have every right to belittle, to demean. And I'm not gonna lie, there is something about that. Like, that's why I always joke about being the superior race, because I'm a white man. Because it's just like, it's ridiculous. It's utter nonsense. My father's from Mexico. My wife is, my father's from Mexico. My mother is whatever white nation mixture. And my wife is from India. What kind of superiority complex would I have to have that kind of background? I've always believed, like, you know what? The future of mankind and acceptance is intermingling, learning to understand and accepting that everyone's different. That's where the future is. The problem is like everyone wants to be, I'm up here. I'm up here. everyone else is below me. That's why people fall for the extremism groups, because they want to feel superior. That's superiority complex. It's crazy. It's crazy.
As a Muslim, because he holds extremely toxic views about other cultures. To engage with people like him, you need to speak his language for the sake of humanity. So now I'll shrink my brain to the size of an electron and talk as if I was Ibrahim sharing his opinions.
Moi, je t'ai juste dit pourquoi tu fais pas le ramadan.
Quel ramadan? Je suis catholique.
Ah, t'es catholique.
Non. Et t'as problème?
Hein?
T'as un problème?
Non, il n'y a pas de problème pour ça. Je t'ai juste demandé parce que tu manges, quoi. C'est pourquoi je te demande si tu faisais pas le ramadan. Non. Et t'as dit quoi pour le ramadan?
Why does he care?
Hein?
Je m'en fous. C'est pas ma religion.
Mais normalement, quand tu dois manger à l'intérieur parce que nous, on fait le ramadan, on peut pas te voir. On ne doit pas te voir manger.
Then why are you looking at him? Again, it's his issue. It's his issue. Like, my wife doesn't eat any form of meat, but my parents, they eat beef, pork, chicken. They don't care. She doesn't get mad at them for it. She doesn't care if they're eating a cow. Well, she probably would, but like, I don't eat it out of cow out of respect for my wife. But other than that, I mean, it's not her place. If I was to eat a cow, it'd be just like, well, it's my choice in the end. It's her choice not to. That's the thing. It's everyone's individual choice. It's how you literally force that crap on people where everyone starts having issues. Everyone starts having issues. You should never force this crap. You should always be like, you know what? Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Leave me out of it. I hate this thing where people are pushing themselves. It happened in the LGBTQ, you know, the password community. It has continuously happened where it's just like, you know what? We can literally start guilting people and I'm trying to think of a word for it. Literally forcing people, coercing people into doing what we want because, oh, they bad because we're doing this and they're disrespecting us because they don't follow the same belief that we do. Yeah.
Tu vois? Merci. Tu vas aller manger à l'intérieur? Hein? Merci beaucoup. C'est gentil, merci.
Well, exactly. How can they eat when you're fasting? That should be a crime. This looks like a fun parade. See, they have their own Disneyland.
I don't know what they are doing. What are you? طيب إن شاء الله. خليها تكمل ثم أروح إن شاء الله. I will go إن شاء الله recite القرآن. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ياسين والقرآن الحكيم. إنك لمن المرسلين. على صراط مستقيم.
He's just trying to make the celebration look more secular. What's wrong with that? I mean, what's so wrong about it?
I'm not gonna lie. I would run him over or her over or whatever over. You know where you're at. You know where you're at. This kind of nonsense doesn't happen in like it doesn't happen in Afghanistan. It doesn't happen in Syria. It doesn't happen in Iran. It doesn't happen, you know, incredibly like Muslim-led nations. This nonsense doesn't happen there. It's just run them over. Just run them over.
Just blocking roads. Can't they pray in peace?
Hey everybody, we are here with the Taliban. Like literally not me being with the literal Taliban. I'm so crazy. Hi. How are you?
Good, good.
Why are the girls like literally like not allowed to like literally like go to school?
I think they are not human beings.
Because we're goddesses. Clock it. The Taliban are feminists.
Afghan women is so special. We put them in room, lock it. Nobody see them. Very important to us.
Because like the propaganda online like literally says that you guys like hide away Afghan women. You guys hate that.
No. You see museum, most beautiful thing in the museum. You put the end behind glass, lock it, special. Women are like diamond to us. The Americans, they are liars. See what they do? They teach women rights. Should be making rice at home.
No rights make rice. You should have like Taliban merch where you're like, no rights, only rice.
Yeah, merch and rice is good.
I just feel like the Taliban are like misunderstood. What if there are some girls in
This
Afghanistan
is a joke,
who
right?
don't education. Like, shut the up. Like, when I was in elementary school, not to sound brain rot, but like literally I was thinking like, where's the Taliban for me?
We can bring Taliban. Yes,
my
we can
country?
bring. Yes, yes. We can
Oh
bring.
my
We
god,
want that.
yes, yes.
Yes, we'll bring.
Come,
Yes,
come,
yes, you tell us.
come. No, not me like literally packing your bag.
Yes, I'll tell Mansoor.
They're literally so misunderstood. I feel bad for them. You need to get rid of your Islamophobia to be able to empathize with them. His frustration feels so genuine. What if he has to book return tickets to Bangladesh for the illegal immigrants in India? What if he was building missiles for the Bangladesh army? What if he has to attend English speaking classes?
Can can't, couldn't, shouldn't, mustn't, might not.
This is interesting. This technology should be exported to India. Why should Bangladesh and Pakistan have all the fun? No wonder Pakistanis are so proud of their armed forces.
We're done hiding and hurt and judged. This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be a part of, Islam. And we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after me. I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it. Say it as if the Ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadan Rasulullah. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the...
I mean, that's how you peacefully demand respect for your religion, right?
That's so true, because there's so many, like, not so many, there are videos out there where people are like, I fled that type of nation to live, like, you know, like, so like how the America was basically formed was a bunch of Protestant Christians didn't like how the Catholic Church was doing things. That they were like, we should be able to read the Bible for ourselves. We shouldn't be told by the Pope who basically talks it down the line, and then everyone basically follows what the church says, because they ended up wearing very lavish robes, being very rich and wealthy, you know, that kind of lifestyle, when that's not supposed to be how the leaders of a church are supposed. So they went off to basically read the Bible for themselves, to form their own churches, and then America was formed with Christian values, not on Catholicism, even though there is a lot of Catholics here in the United States, but it just like, it was formed on Christian values. But that's why they ran away. But imagine, well, I guess a lot of Catholics did come here, but Catholicism is basically taking a back seat. But imagine running from a nation, and then while you're feeling better, you can finally learn your own religion. You can finally practice it in your own way. And all the crazies have followed you there. It's like literally telling you, no. Everything you believe that's in that book that speaks to you, no. That's wrong. That's wrong. It should be this imam that teaches you. They're the ones that know. Like, no. There's a book, because everyone should be able to read it. Everyone should be able to interpret it for how they choose. Whether you're reading the Bible, whether you're reading the Quran, whether you're reading the Book of Mormon, whether you're reading it, well, whatever text, it's up to the interpreter to judge for themselves. Like, who read Harry Potter? There were a ton of people, a ton of Christian people were like, this is a story of Jesus, just turned around and put in a fantasy world. And then J.K. Rowling's like, you know what? Dumbledore's gay. Because she got tired of hearing that crap. But that's literally how it is. Everyone puts their own mind into everything. Everyone sees what they want in everything. It doesn't matter what they're reading. Oh my gosh. It's freaking ridiculous.
Exactly, because maybe the UK needs a more progressive and democratic political system.
The future is ours. Every ideal nightmare of a Muslim Europe will come true. They can be as mad as they want. I don't care. America will be a Muslim country. Russia will be a Muslim country. Islam will enter every house, inshallah. But we have to be a part of that change and never, ever apologize. We're unapologetic. Never, ever compromise. We're uncompromising.
When people say that Islam is not compatible with Western society, with a pluralistic society, this is exactly what we are talking about. You have this imam who's just casually saying in the UK out loud that America is going to become a Muslim country, Russia is going to become a Muslim country, that Islam is going to enter every house. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I hear that, I don't think of a missionary project. I don't think of Islamic proselytizing. I don't think of him referring to Muslims converting people over to Islam through love and acceptance, which, by the way, is not really a large factor in the growth of Islam. It's primarily driven by high birth rates. But he's clearly not talking about faith or personal belief. He's referring to a political takeover. His language is the language of conquest, and that is the language of people who think that the West is weak enough for them to come in and replace. The United Kingdom, where this imam is saying this, proves why they feel so bold enough to say this. Look at what's happening there. Nobody in America gets told any of this, but in parts of London and Bradford and Birmingham and Luton, the police won't even enforce basic laws if it risks community tensions. They have totally redefined the definition of Islamophobia to include race when Muslim is not a race. Their politicians have no backbone. They have no spine. They have entire neighborhoods where extremist preachers literally have more influence than the parliament. There are schools where kids are bullied for being too Western. Politicians as well as police and authorities have openly admitted that they don't talk about this. They don't say a word because they're terrified of offending the wrong people. It has gone beyond the idea of diversity.
Well, the reason why it works is because look at like India. That worked in India. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. We have our own book that tells us this is right, yet you guys are telling me by the government that we're not allowed to do this. So we need our own special code, and if you don't follow, treat us correct, we're gonna start rioting because our people are being disrespected. It worked in India. Countless times. Like the fact that they were like they've been constantly trying to, you know what, no, there's one code only, there's one law only, but not everyone enforces it. Why? Because they're too afraid of certain sects that they're like, you know what, we're not going to enforce it because then we'll be targeted, then we'll be bombed, then we'll have so many problems on our hands. It has worked in India, and now they're starting to push. I guess India was a testing ground. They're starting to push that everywhere else, where they become this massive, annoying, loud majority that it's going to become a problem. It's going to become a problem. That's why they're targeting like the small, nuanced states and cities in America, like more blue states. Why? Less what is it called? Home protection, less home defense. And when there's less home defense, they feel more comfortable being outspoken and being radical and being crazy because there's less likely that they're gonna get held to their actions. There's gonna be less likely for someone to take justice into their own hands, as it were. It's just crazy. It's just crazy because it's just like if it works, it works, and they continue to do it. And now that it's worked in Europe, they're like, you know what? We're gonna take over all of Europe. Then we're gonna move on across the seas and start to take over. But the thing, it's done through birth rates. They try to take as many wives as possible. They try to birth as many kids as possible, and then try to push out that extremist poison. And that's why I point out the extremist portion, and these people have got to be removed from society entirely. They have got to be removed from society entirely. That kind of ultra hatred speech, like if they were talking about how we want to integrate ourselves into a society, we want to join, it's different. They're talking about joining. They're talking about being a part of, but they're not. They're talking about being the exclusive, the only. Everyone else will not exist because they are the future. It's just like that kind of insanity. Because that's what the problem with the Nazis were. The elite superior race. They're considering themselves the elite superior religion. It's just like, what the heck? That's just absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. But yeah, that's just how it goes.
It has become a cultural surrender, and I'm sorry, the UK's done. There is no recovering from what has happened to the UK. And I already know that people are going to come in and say, oh, well, this imam doesn't represent all Muslims. Obviously, I know it doesn't. Most Muslims, or at least a lot of them, don't want any part of this ideology of the takeover, but this is the strain of political Islam. This triumphalist, we're going to dominate the West mindset is very real, and pretending that it doesn't exist is, again, exactly how the UK got caught flat-footed in the first place. Every warning was dismissed as racist or Islamophobic until the reality became too obvious to hide. And by the way, since the 60s, the UK's public opinion have continuously shown that they reject the influence of Islam in their society, and that they think the immigration policy has been horrible, and they think that too many people have been coming into their country and their politicians did nothing. And I'm sorry, but this whole we're never going to apologize, we're never going to compromise, never water anything down in our religion, it's not religious devotion. It is, again, political absolutism. That is a vision of society where pluralism does not exist. Where
I don't know what this guy's talking about, but he sounds really Islamophobic. Well, they're just playing some Arabic music for Santa. What's wrong with that?
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال سيدنا محمد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال سيدنا محمد. الحمد لله الله اكبر.
But at least they don't worship everything.
You're here to meet a false for you said to her to try using 3 years because if they fit then she'll you. You're a teacher?
Mosque teacher.
Mosque teach children in a mosque.
I'm Muslim just sorry sir. Sorry.
No, you're gonna go to jail now, you're gonna lose your job, everything. What do you work as?
I'm Imam.
Why did you want to see a picture of her 9-year-old?
Yes, but they shouldn't have jailed him for more than 3 years.
Guess who's running for Birmingham City Council? Shahid Butt. You guys, he's literally a terrorist. Mr. Butt is a convicted terrorist, originally from no one knows, it's all been redacted. But all reports say he is a Pakistani Brit. In 1999, a court in Yemen convicted him of terrorism, related to an armed group that was planning on attacking a British consulate in Aden. You do see how insane that is, right? He's now running for a position in a British government building. That group was also planning on attacking an Anglican church and a Swiss-owned hotel. Those terrorism charges came with a 5-year sentence. And now he's asking for your vote. The nerve. The UK is a f***ing joke, and you wonder why I left. Okay, thanks, bye.
Yes, but isn't it normal?
It's coming to America. Is that coming to America? Yes, it's coming. Wait, is this going to be one day America will become a Muslim state, a Muslim country. Really? Tell it Trump. That's never going to happen. Yes, it will happen. God is powerful. God is powerful.
Yeah, I don't think that could ever really happen, because we are a little too like our free will is it's a what is it? A double-sided blade? Double-sided blade? Like, it, no matter what, it causes problems, but at the same time, it allows us to speak our mind. Like in Europe, like in the UK, people are silenced when they speak out against this kind of nonsense. They are silenced. They have police go to their houses when they start to talk about this kind of stuff. But in the US, this kind of stuff is... people don't take things into their own hands, but again, things change over time. But hopefully we're going to lose one of our politicians who was doing a lot of fraud recently, whose husband was incredibly rich and wealthy through some fake winery companies. If you know, you know. But it's just like, hopefully we start sectioning that off, cutting out the rot, removing it, because it has to leave. It has to leave. There's nothing wrong with Muslims being in nations and being a part of society. The key thing is they need to be a part of society. Like, that's where I draw the line. It's like, I have no problem with people coming and joining America, traveling somewhere and spending time in a country like for tourism. The big issue is when they don't integrate in society when they move there. The big issue is when they're not respectful to a nation when they're traveling there. That is where I draw the line. It was like, if you're traveling somewhere, you integrate. When me and my wife are living in India, I'm going to be respectful of India. I'm going to be taking India as my #1 priority. Why? Because I'd be living there. When we're living in the States, the U.S. is my main priority. Why? Because we'd be living here. It's like self-preservation. And it just makes sense. I want my home to be the best home it can be. So I take it as like the number one priority. The number one priority. And that's the thing. You have to be respectful of where you're traveling to. You have to integrate to where you're going to. You have to mold. Will I always stand out in India? Absolutely. I'm too pasty to really fit in. Maybe in some places in Kashmir, I might be able to blend because they have some very pasty communities over there. But other than that, I mean, I'd be noticeable. Everywhere I travel, I'd be noticeable. But I don't. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. I'd still be respectful. I'd still do everything. I mean, if like here in the U.S., everyone walks around with their shoes on. The house is dirty. Everyone walks around with their shoes on. In India, I always take my shoes off. Sometimes my family has always told me, no, you don't have to. You don't have to. And I'm just like, I'm just trying to take my boots off. Like, it's like, no, I need to take these off. I need to take these off. That's what you have to do. You have to integrate. You have to become a part of society. You can't isolate yourself. Like, I'm against people forming a community which turns into that nation they left. It's like, no. Integrate yourself into the community. Be a part of that group. Learn how they do things. Sure, you can still practice your own things. You can still have your own beliefs. But when you're out in society, do what society does. I mean, don't drive off a cliff, but at least be respectful of everyone around you. Be respectful of everyone around you. Ilhan Omar, yeah. You know.
Is that what everybody wants? That's what we are. Our goal is to make America Islam. Islamic State. Yes. God's powerful. It's never gonna happen. You control the heart of Americans. God guides whom He wills. Over my dead body will become an Islamic.
Oh, he's making a video.
I don't get one thing. Why don't they understand that religion is a big deal for these people? It doesn't matter if it's 1200 or 2026. And don't ask me why they're always aggressive about it. Don't tell me that religion is supposed to make your life more peaceful. I know all that.
The name is Mamdani. M-A-M-D-A-N-I. The name is Mamdani.
I think it's about time that the US really starts to invest in liberal women. I do. I think that we should sponsor an all expenses paid trip for these women to Afghanistan. This way liberal women can experience firsthand what Sharia law and real oppression looks like. They can live like Afghan women who aren't allowed to show any part of their body or speak in public. Oh, and don't forget that if a man rapes a woman in Afghanistan, she could be facing charges because under the Zina Code and Sharia law, she's now viewed as having committed adultery.
Sharia law starts now. Absolutely. Islamic Caliphate of New York starts today, baby.
If we sent these liberal women to Afghanistan, I think we'd see a really great return on investment, you guys. I say we send them because when these liberal women come back, assuming they make it back, they would be so grateful for the freedom that they have in this country, and they would stop pushing this idiotic ideology that Sharia law is actually a good idea. At least one would think.
No, you're not supposed to listen to these people, and they're just Islamophobic. What? That's a super effective way to get a seat without asking or looking for one.
Come on, brother. Listen, mate. We're not here to cause a problem, yeah? We just want a word with you. Open the door, mate. We want to know if you want why that girl at the age of was groomed and then made to run away from home at the age of by a man that's in his early 40s. I know you're there watching me at the door, my friend. Open the door. Mate, if I was you, I'd look at the There's over 200 of us there, mate. This problem ain't gonna go away. It's your best bet. Let that go home. I'm telling you now, because you ain't gonna be able to show your face in public again. I promise you that. Do you understand what that guy is? He's a... There's been 2 other cases which involve him. Excuse me. You don't even know he's talking to other girls. There's a grooming gang. It's all on the social media as well. The guy in the early 40s, he's bringing this girl from the age of 4. Yeah, but she's at 16. He's made her run away from home. Now she's been living there. He's getting all his mates, right? They're all having shit. They're bringing her over, and she's so loved up with him.
You really think the police in London are going to do anything? Are going to do anything? Oh, freaking. It's sad. It's sad. They're the aggressors. They are the aggressors.
Police are turning a blind eye to this. The parents have gone to the police many, many times, and nothing is being done about this. Why is this allowed in 2026 in the UK?
We don't agree with breathing, manipulation, abuse. She will not convert. We are Sikhs, and we're standing together.
We come to get our niece, our daughter back. We're getting her back. But now...
See, that's the thing I kind of don't agree with. It's just like, she's doing the same thing. Like, we are Sikhs. why not just be people? We are citizens of this nation. We don't agree with this. That, I think, better. Saying Sikhs when you're in the UK is kind of like out there. It's like, wait a minute. Are you going to start getting roped in? Because you're isolating yourselves into a small community and you're becoming a problem yourself. Again, I understand why people do it. There's a feeling of home. There's a feeling, and I've always been the loner. I've always been the lone wolf. I've always been kind of a recluse. I've never needed community to actually, you know, enjoy my life. I could sit down, be alone, and be perfectly fine. I could sit in the dark in dead silence, be perfectly fine. I'd be one of those crazy people that you put in a room of silence, and I'd just be able to sit there, no problem. Everything would just be in my head. I'd just be playing things in my head. That's just how I've always been. I've never been one of those to easily, you know, fall for this kind of stuff. But a lot of people fall for this community. They fall for this kind of stuff. They absolutely need it. So it makes sense as to why they group together. But at the same time, it's just like, no, like, if she was like roping in others and talking about like, this is the UK, we were a part of there, that's our sister, that's our daughter, that's our, like, you know, something like that. But the fact that she's like Sikh, I'm just like, ugh, that just sounds like, oh no, we are the right people. Like, come on. But I know what she's saying. I know what she's saying. But at the same time, it's just like, come on.
We've got to make sure she doesn't come back. It's been going on for 9 years. It's been bringing young children, young girls, young boys going in and out of that flat. We can't let this carry on. Not in our communities, not in any community.
But why do these Indian guys care so much, huh? This must be some propaganda.
So an Islamic State is now concerned about Islamic radicalization in a non-Islamic state. Let me make it make sense. The United Arab Emirates is stopping its citizens from going to the UK for higher education because they fear that there's a risk of Islamic radicalization on UK campuses. So the UAE has a list of universities to study in which its citizens can get government sponsorships, and now UK universities have been removed from that list. But where are the UAE's radicalization fears coming from? There are three main reasons. First, the UAE is upset over the UK not designating the organization Muslim Brotherhood as a group. This is the same group that says Hamas is their Palestinian chapter, and it's a banned organization in countries like UAE and Russia. UK hasn't banned them, saying there's no evidence to link them to activities in the country. Second, what's the scale of this Islamic radicalization in the UK?
That's what's funny, is these people are so heinous that even Muslim nations don't want them. They're despised in Muslim nations that they have found a home in Western culture, because it's this whole woke liberal nonsense where, oh no, we have to be accepting of everyone. We have to be, like, no, those people, they're marginalized groups. The funny thing is the people saying that, they don't realize, like, my skin tone, I look like a white man. White people, I think, are like 18% of the world's population. We are like down. We are like the minority, the absolute minority. Do we look like we're the majority? Absolutely. Due to films, due to like the mainstream media, due to the powerful nations. Well, I use powerful loosely, but you know what I mean. That's why. That's why it's seen as like, oh, we're the top of the top. We're not. We're absolutely not. We're more like down here, but again, it's the superiority complex. We like to feel up here, so we make ourselves look like we're up here. The same problem with like the extremist groups. They view themselves as up here, that they belittle everyone else. That's the problem with like Americans when they go out and abroad. They start belittling the other nations because they view themselves up here. Stop it, cool. Stop it, cool. I'm a white man. I'm the superior race right here. I'm absolutely superior. But that's the thing. It's just like, that's how it works. That's how it works. Everyone wants to be up here. Everyone wants to be up here. And they feel good about themselves when they can look down on everyone else. When they look down on everyone else. That's what it is. That's absolutely what it is. No, Mrs. Scribbler. No cowboy hat, no taco, no burrito. I'm white man. White man.
Okay, one sign is the number of people being referred to UK's counter radicalization program, PREVENT. Every year, around 800 to 900 people are being referred to this program for Islamic extremism. These make up nearly 10% of the total referrals, though it's much less compared to right-wing extremism, which contributes almost 20%. Third, leaders from other countries such as JD Vance have also raised similar concerns about radicalization in the UK. Because of these fears, now even degrees from prestigious institutes like Oxford, Cambridge, LSE won't just be ineligible for scholarships, but they also won't even be recognized as degrees in the UAE. That's how desperately the UAE...
Nah, bro, who cares about the UAE? All of them are like that. They say it's 2026 and they're not too attached to religion. They say they've started focusing on actual development and care more about humanity as a whole.
Ultimately, I want to see every single woman in this country covered from head to toe. I want to see the hand of the thief. I want to see adulterers stoned to death. I want to see Sharia law in Europe, and I want to see it in America as well.
The only thing I would say is that in America and in the United Kingdom, democracy, but it's a system that allows the people to choose what they want and allows people freedom.
But that's the thing. In the mindset, like, this is why I hate, like, religious superiority, because it's their dated text. Like, even some of the things that were in the Bible, no, that's way too dated. Who's going to crucify someone nowadays? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. No, that's barbaric. It's heinous. It's a time from back in the day. Just acknowledge that and move on to the future. But the problem is, a lot of people keep their mindset as back in the day. As back in the day is what was right. No, the back in the day doesn't matter. Back in the day is not important. It's what's now that's important. Now that we actually have the ability to speak for ourselves. Now the world can be so small due to online influences, due to being able to communicate to people across the globe in a matter of seconds. Unless you're on YouTube, then you're about a minute behind. But other than that, it's just like, these people are crazy. They're crazy, and that's what I hate. I hate the fact that it's all extremism. I absolutely despise extremism, because I'm a firm believer in, like, integration and being becoming a part of society, in welcoming other beliefs, welcoming others, but they have to integrate. They have to integrate. Like, I wouldn't go to Syria and demand everyone learn Bible. No. I mean, I'm not that type of person anyway. I don't care about going around and forcing it in people's faces. I've never been that type of person, but I wouldn't do that. Why? Because it's my personal feeling. It's my personal belief. It's not for me to push onto other people, even though it kind of tells us to go out and teach, seek the lost, or something. That's a verse for it or whatever. But it's like, it's not my calling. Everyone has their own calling. It's not mine. But the problem is, in the extremism, it's all their calling. It's all their calling.
Why not choose Sharia? When in Rome, overthrow Caesar, implement Sharia.
In your home, you can do whatever you want.
But what about in the public? Why can't I tell you to cover up? Am I free to say that?
Because it would be outrageous.
So where's my freedom? Where's my freedom?
You can say it to me, but
okay, so cover up. Wear the hijab.
That's absurd.
Okay, let me clear this up. Your entire identity can be your religion. What's so wrong with that? What's wrong with seeing everything through a religious lens? The world needs to change for you. These other people are stupid. They're not going to heaven anyway. All right, let me grow back my brain now.
They're not going to heaven anyway.
Why do some of you feel the need to seek validation everywhere? Take criticism seriously if it's constructive. Laugh at a joke if it's funny. Shut them down if it's racist, stereotypical, or stupid. I'm going to disagree right there. Racist, stereotypical, or stupid. The thing is, racism is one thing, but stereotypical and stupid, I mean, those can be used in jokes to begin with. Like, he's all laugh if it's funny. Well, stereotypes are used to be funny. Like, I use stereotypes all the time because guess what? I think they're funny. I think they're funny. Are they true? No, but they're funny. They're slightly true, which is why they're a stereotype, but in the end, they're funny. But yeah, I understand the racist argument there and just being stupid, but that you can have stereotypes and stupidity in comedy. Like, I try to embody those, at least the stupidity part. Like, the absolute retarded aspect, I just try to embody that. Generates will always try to hate farm views. He hates India and justifies his bias with his toxic content. You should have far better things deserving of your attention.
Oh. I freaking love pepzity. Great content. Absolutely great content. Because, again, so many people, the main issue is the fact it's the main character syndrome. It's the fact that they want to be up at the top. And Americans are guilty of this. All kinds of extremists are guilty of this. Kids in a classroom are guilty of this. It's one of those childish tendencies where you want to be up here. You just want to be up here, that you'll follow what people say who you see as up here, and you'll do as they do because you see them as up here, and you want to be up here, that you belittle, disrespect, and absolutely disregard everything else. Any kind of rational thought as well, because you believe you're up here. You're far superior than anyone here. You're far superior. Why would you need to listen to these people down here? Even if they have a decent argument, you're up here. Why does what's here matter? And that's the problem with extremism. That's the problem with like an elitist mindset. That you can't talk to them. And this is coming from me, the superior race. I'm superior. The funny thing is, as I know, one of these days, that's going to get clipped and I'm going to get so much hate for calling myself superior, calling myself like a genetics masterpiece because my mother is whatever and my father's Hispanic, and because I'm a mix, I'm genetically superior. I'm going to get so canceled in the future for this. Oh my gosh.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait like that.